if Carl joins us or not. I would not be surprised if he's on the golf course. But there you go. Right then, okay, so last session before we have a little bit of a break, and I've just put together a few of the things that were targeted the tummy a little bit more, and we're going to go from basic up to harder work as ever. So you're going to have something that you can stick to if you want to keep it easier, or you've got something to go up to if you want to keep it, ramp it up a little bit. We're going to start off on hands and knees for the exercises, the warms up to begin with, and then we're going to get into some 4-point work. So let me get my head support down on the mat. I've just double checked that I'm recording. Yes, I am. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to start off with some cat curls, a little bit of a lumbar spine mobiliser. So we're on hands and knees, and we're thinking about getting the chest nice and high to begin with, keeping that chin tucked up into the throat, and then we're just going to tilt the tailbone down, but allow your head to drop so that you're lifting the mid part of your back as high as possible, and then you're going to slowly return to a flat back position. And we do that one again, tucking the tailbone under, just giving that lower back a little bit of a rounding over and a stretch, and then slowly back out. And we're just going to do half a dozen of these, just to get that back bending a little bit. Keep that going. And in terms of breathing, maybe think about breathing out as you lift your back, breathing in as you return back to that neutral position. Let's have a couple more of those. Breathing out as you tuck that tailbone under, breathing in as you return back to that neutral. And we're going to do one more of those. Nice big stretch. Hold it up there now, and have a big deep breath in whilst you're in that position, and you'll just feel the lower back and the bottom of the ribs get a nice stretch as you breathe in, and then breathe out and return back to that flat back position. We're going to get down into the Sphinx position now. So we're going to take the hands forward and away from you, down onto the forearms, and then forward onto the front of your body. Now from here, if you need to, adjust your arms, and all we're going to do is push up through the forearms and then slowly lower back down until your forehead comes to the floor. Press through the forearms and then slowly back down. And if your back will tolerate it, take your hands a little bit further away and above your head, so that as you push it up through the hands, you lift your elbows and the elbows lock out. Slowly lower back down. Creep the hands a little bit closer towards you to get a little bit higher, and then slowly back down. So we're looking to see if we can incrementally get the body a little bit higher each time. But sometimes the hips start to lift. So think about pushing your pubic bone down into the floor as your elbows straighten, and then slowly lowering back down. And again, breathing out as we go. We're going to do one more of these. Don't push it too far if it's uncomfortable. Last repetition, breathing it out, and we're going to hold it up there. Have a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, let your tummy sag. And then we're going to slowly lower that back down. Now we're going to come back up onto our hands and knees. So we can press through the forearms or through the hands to get back up here, back to that 4-point kneeling position. Make sure your knees feel comfortable. This is the only real bit of leg work that you're going to be doing today. We're going to go for a swimming level 4. So first of all, we set ourselves up. Toes are relaxed away if they can be comfortable there. Chest is lifted, chin is tucked up, and we've found our neutral lumbar spine. So we can do a few of those tilts, find the halfway position, keep that there. We're going to go for right arm, left leg, slowly reaches away, point fingers to the wall, toes to the wall behind you, slide them back into the start position. Left hand, right leg, reach it away, get that knee as straight as you can, slide it back in. Keep that going. We're going to do 5 on each side, so it's 10 in all. Keep that chest lifted and back in. Sneaking that knee back under the hip. Reach it away. That's 2 on each side done. Keep that going. I'm going to have a quick look. That's 3. Good work. Try and straighten that knee out a bit, Steve, if you can. Point the toes a bit more. That's it. And that's 4. 1 more on each side. That's great control, guys. Good work. Have a little bit of a rest. If you want to sit back for a moment, do so. Have a quick look at the next exercise. It's the same exercise, but we're going to pulse it. Now, the size of the pulses basically is the size of the challenge. So if I take myself out and I do small pulses, the challenge is easy. If I've got big pulses, you can see my back is moving around a little bit. So we want to find the size of pulse that we can do that you feel you can control without the back dipping and lifting. Okay, so the way that we're going to do this is sort of a pulse of 10 on each side, and then we flip sides. So I'll count them out as we do them. So get ourselves into the swimming position, the 4-point kneeling position, chest lifted, right arm, left leg goes away, get the elbow straight and the knee straight, and we're going to start the pulse with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax that back in. So whilst you're supporting on the supporting hand, really push through the floor to lift the chest. Left arm, right leg, nice straight knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slide that back in. Let's go opposite diagonals. Keep that back nice and still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slide it back in. Left hand, right leg. Keep that back still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back in. One more on each side. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last set. Keep that chest lifted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Slide back in. Looking good there, guys. Nice and still in the back there. Okay, so whilst we're here, we're going to get the abdominals working a little bit more now. We're going to go through the leg pull series. That's the stuff where we're hovering the knees. So we've got somewhere we're just doing static holds as a bit of a warm-up, and then we're going to get the legs involved in it. So it's all familiar stuff, but it's something I normally do at the end of a session. I think we're going to use it as a bit of a warm-up today. Okay, so we're going to tuck the toes under. Same starting position. We've tucked the toes under, and we're thinking about keeping that neutral on the spine. Little bit of a shallow curve. Do not round it over as we lift both knees an inch from the floor. So it's a knee hover 1 inch above the floor. Off you go, and we're going to count down from 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Okay, nice and easy so far. We're going to do the same again. We're just going to try and hold it nice and still. We've got to keep the chest up with the lower back in neutral. Off we go. Let's lift the knees just 1 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower that back down. So that's our basic version. Hard version coming up. I'm just going to come down my mat a little way. Hands go a little bit further away. It's the high plank position. We start with the knee hover. So I've still got my chin tucked in, my chest lifted, my neutral on the spine, hover the knees, and then we push those knees out absolutely straight, push the heels away, pull the kneecaps up the front of the thighs, and we're going to hold there. So if you're up there, hold it. If you're not, get there. And we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly go back, hover the knees and lower. And then off we go. Again, we're going to lift, push the feet away, straighten the knees, push the chest up through the hands, hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly back and lower to the floor. Good stuff. Right then, so we're going to take this on a little bit. We're going to go back to the version where we had the hips and knees staying bent, but we're going to add that leg extension. Let me give you a modified version of it, so you've got an easy version if you want it. So I lift my knees, and I can just lift my foot from the floor and put it back down, and lift my foot from the floor and put it back down. That's the easy version. Or we go to the hard version where we're going to go straight out with the leg. Bring it back. Keep it up there, go out with the other side, bring it back. Okay, and we're going to do 5 on each side if we're going to do that. So have a rest for a moment. 5 on each side, so 10 in total, and then we have a rest. If you want to just hold it as a static position, that's fine also. So let's see whether we can get those knees just an inch off the floor. Left foot lifts, push it back if you're straightening the knee, bring that back to the start. Change legs and back. 2, left, well it doesn't really matter which side. 3, opposite side. 4, keep that chest lifted, knee an inch off the floor. 5, 6, chin tucked under. 7, 8, 9, last one there. 10, lower down. Okay, have a little moment there. We're going to do that again. Okay, so you can choose which level you wanted to stick at. You can stay at that harder level or go easier if you need to. When we're ready, we're going to go for the hover. First of all, lift the knees. One leg out behind you first, straighten that knee if you're going for that straight knee version. 1, 2, switching sides. 3, 4, keep that knee an inch off the floor. 5, keep the chest up. 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. Good work. I said there wasn't much legs involved. I was wrong, wasn't I? Relax down. Certainly feel that in the front of the thighs. It gets the heart racing a little bit, that one. So we're going to have a little moment there just to rest. If you want to do a few sort of roll backs, feel free. If you just want to push the lower back into that rounded position before we take it on another notch. Of course, stay at the same level, but we're going to go for the full high plank position with a leg lift. So it's called leg pull with leg lift. So we're going to go for hands out a little bit further so we can get ourselves easily into that high plank. Toes are tucked under. We're going to hover the knees first and then we go out to the high plank, and we can either hold that position or we're going to go for a leg lift. Left side up, back down, right side up, back down. We're going to do 5 on each side, 10 in total. That's 3, 4, 5. You don't need to lift too high. 6, 7, keep the knees straight. 8, 9, and 10. Now we've got to hover back, push back, lower the knees, back to the floor. Guess what? We're going to do it again. Have a moment, get your breath back. I'm going to have a look at you in this one. So we're going to go for the knee lift, get ourselves out there into the high plank, and then if you want to get the legs going with the move with a lift. So we'll hover the knees, push it out straight. Get those knees nice and straight before you start, chest lifted. Lift one leg for 1. Opposite for 2. 3, keeping everything else still. 4, 5, 6, well done Renata. 7, 8, still breathing, good. 9, 10, hover back and relax there, good. Have a little roll back there. Strong stuff there, good work. Okay, so we're going to do a little tail wag, a nice little mobiliser. I've never really done it before with you guys, but I kind of forgot about it. And it's just one of those ones to fit in between sessions, in between exercises. You might just imagine that you're a dog wagging your tail, and you're taking your shoulder blade down towards your hip and your hip up to your shoulder, and then you do it the other way. So it's just a bit of a side bend in the back, that's all it is really. Okay, and we're going to do a little bit more mobility now in sitting. So have yourself sat on your mat, cross-legged if you're comfortable, sat as tall as you possibly can. And we're going to go for some of those seated spine twists. So we're going to have the hands on the opposite shoulders. We're going to sit as tall as we can on our bum bones. So we're not rolling back into a slump, we get as tall as we can. And if we need to sit on something like a yoga block or even a book, that's fine, just to get you up that little bit higher, to get you on your bum bones. And then all we're going to do is have a slow turn in one direction, turning the head with the shoulders,
and then slowly bring it back into the middle. Breathing out as you take it away, breathing in as you come back to the middle. And each time you come back through the middle, you're trying to find that neutral lumbar spine, that high sitting position, so that you're not slumping into the movement. And just see whether you can just nudge a little bit more movement in each direction, breathing it out, slowly bringing it back, breathing it out, slowly bringing it back. And we're going to do one more in each direction. Okay, and back to the middle. It's one of those movements we don't do very often, is rotation in sitting. And if you're a bit stiff in your spine, you'll generally count on your hips to do your flexibility, your rotation for you. So sitting down means you can't use your hips, your spine has to do the work, and you can sometimes find you're a bit stiff, so it's worth working on there. Now we're going to change position up into kneeling. We're going to do a side bend in kneeling. So bring yourself up. Make sure I can see myself. Yes, we can. Now the toes, if the toes are comfortable, let them go away behind you. If they're not very comfortable like that, tuck the toes under. And we're just going to have a similar run through in kneeling, much like you would do in standing. So we're going to make sure we've got that chin tucked in, shoulder blades set down. We can do a bit of that pelvic tilt, find that neutral position. When I'm kneeling, my back tends to cave in a little bit, so I have to tuck it under a touch to flatten out. Let's see whether you can find that neutral too. Hands by your side. You're going to take your right hand down to the floor, left hand is going to reach up and over the top. So you slide those fingers down the side of the thigh trying to touch the floor, but no forwards or backwards leaning to get there. Okay, so it's pure side bend. Back up, reach the opposite side over. Breathe it out as you get to the end of the range, and then bring it back. So that arm wants to be right over the top of your head, rather than in your eyesight. If you can see it, it's too far forwards, and then bring it back over. We're going to do a few more of these, maybe 3 more on each side, incrementally trying to go that little bit further if you can, so long as it's not painful. Breathing out as you reach. And now I'm starting to get my fingers to the floor. After a couple of reps, it loosens up. Okay, 2 more each side. Try and keep your weight pretty equal through both knees as you do this one. 1 more on each side. Reaching that arm over. Last one. Okay. So whilst we're in kneeling, we're going to go for the kneeling side bend, or side kick as it's sometimes known. But I'm going to do it a bit differently to how I've done it before. Have a quick look at this one. This is more about getting the technique right. So we're not going to do loads of reps. It's more about technique. So I'm going to go to my right. And as I go over to my right, my left leg goes out. Now, if I have an easy ride, I lean over onto my hand, okay? It's harder for me to push away with my hand because these bum muscles don't like holding my leg horizontal, okay? So I'm going to come back up. I want you to have a go at that one now. So take it over, I don't care which side, onto your hand, get that leg straight, and then push that hand away to bring your hip more over your knee, keeping that leg as horizontal as you can. The opposite hand can stay on your hip, bring it back up, and then we go the other way. So hand to the floor. If you can, push away with that hand so that you're almost gliding away, keeping that leg level, bring it back up. Let's keep that going. I want to have a watch at how well you're performing that one. Good. That's it. Keep that leg up. That's fine. And just hold it for a moment. Once you're there, get yourself over onto that hand. Get that leg as high as you can. And you're pushing away through that supporting hand to get this thigh as vertical as possible. Okay? And then bring that back over. We're going to do a couple more on each side. Push away if you need to get more vertical in the thigh. Okay, last repetition there. So this is all about getting that technique as good as possible and then bring that back up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take it into sort of a traditional side bend that we've done before. So we're going to be going down onto our forearms, onto our elbow on one side, and we're going to just start off with some side bend. Level 1, nice and easy, just to warm those bum muscles up a little bit differently. So we're going to have those knees in front, feet are in line with the body, knees are at about a right angle. We've got the gap under the waist. Remember that the emphasis here is that the hips go forwards as you go up. This top hand starts behind you, and we lift it over the body to help cantilever you up, and then take those hips down and back. So nice and basic to begin with. Off we go again. Push those hips forward and then bring them back and down. Don't let the waist clap. So that's 2. We're going to go for 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, keep that going. I want to have a look. 7, well done Renata, good work. 8, last 2. 1 more. Have a little rest. Okay, side bend, level 2. Onto the hand if we're going to do this one. Top foot turns, so you've got the foot planted on the floor in front of the bottom leg, okay? Gap lifted under the waist as much as you can. Top knee turned out as much as you can without rolling backwards, which is tough if your hips are a bit stiff. Okay, this top hand hangs behind you to begin with, and as we push through both feet to straighten the knees, that top hand comes over the top, and then we take it back as we concertina back to put the bum on the floor for a moment, and then we go back up and over. Lift those hips as high as you can. Okay, that is 2. We're going to do 10. 3, 4, 5, get those hips nice and high. 6, 7, 8, keep going, 9. Okay, good work there, Steve. Well done. Have a little rest. So now we're going to add in the hip twister. So Renata, if you're sticking to level 1, just stay there. In fact, Renata, a little bit of a challenge for you. If you're going to do the level 1s, try just getting that knee up. See if you can take that leg away, bring it in, bring it down, go back down. See if you can add a bit of leg work into this. If we're going to go for the twister though, at the top of level 2, have a quick look. You've done it before, I'm sure. We take the hand up, but then we're going to reach under, touch the floor behind you, keep the knees as straight as you can, bring the hand back up, concertina back down, and we're going to do 6 of those if we can. All right? Okay, so whichever version you're going for, let's take it up. Straighten the knees if you can, if you're taking this up here. Reach that hand under, keep the elbows and the knees as straight as you can. Bring that hand back up, reach for the ceiling, concertina back down. Off we go again. Reach for the ceiling with the hand, and then reach it under so that, well, thread that needle as they would say. Bend the knees, come back. 2. Off we go again. Reach up, reach down and through. 3. 3 more to go. Off we go. Reach it through, far as you can go. Back and down. Last 2. Good work. Last 1. Okay, when you've got that hand back up, slowly lower down, have a little bit of a rest, go to the opposite end of your mat. We're going to go through some side bend level 1s again, so we'll start off nice and easy, and we'll build it up. We're starting on the elbow or forearm. We're going to keep that chest lifted, we've got those knees in front, feet in line with the hips and the shoulders. We're going to be taking hips up and forwards. This top hand can help cantilever you over by taking the arm over the top, slowly down and back. Off we go again. 2 and down. Touch the floor, off we go again. 3, touch the floor. 4 and back. Keep that going. 5 and back. 6 and back. Try and keep knees together, Steve. 7, that's it. 8, 9. Okay, so those muscles on the bum on the underside are a little bit warmed up. We stay at that level, or we take it up a notch. We take it up a notch by turning that top leg out, foot on the floor, hand on the floor rather than elbow. And from there, again, we lift that waist, this top hand goes behind us, and then we're going to reach up and over. The hand goes right over the top of this one as we straighten the legs out, okay? And then we take it back down. Concertina the legs, the bum just touches the floor, we go again. That's number 2, we're going for 10. Try and get that head in line with the rest of the body. 3, hips nice and high, knees nice and straight. 4, 5, keep that going. Good work there. 6, 7, keep going. 2 more, get those hips forward, Renata. Last one. If you're still going there, have a little rest. Okay, so Renata, I've got a little challenge. Leg work again. When you're up on your hip, keep your hand on your hip perhaps, up and forward, knee up, push the leg away, bring it up, put it back down, okay, if you can manage it, that is. We're going to go for the twister otherwise, so we're going to reach for the ceiling with the hand, okay, so we're going to go up and we're going to reach it through, taking the hips up to the ceiling as the hand goes down, hands come back up, concertina back down. Let's try for 6. 1 more rep, as I've lost count, sorry guys. Reach it through and then back down. Okay, have a little bit of a rest there. Sorry about that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is get those tummy muscles working. We're going to go through some oblique work. So I've got a little bit of a sequence. We've done some of this before. We're going to start with a bit of an oblique rollback. So we're going to start sat up nice and tall, trying to get up onto those bum bones, chest lifted a little bit, as though we've got a little bit of an inward curve in the back. I know it's difficult to get that neutral there, but you're getting as close as you can. Both hands are out in front, and we start with a little bit of an opening of the chest, and then we bring it back up. Opposite side, bit of an opening of the chest as one hand comes round, bring it back up. So we're just trying to turn the chest a little more each time, rolling back a little more each time. And if you can manage that, change your focus to your knees. Your knees should stay pretty still. If they feel like they're kind of gliding, one goes forwards and one goes back, just work on trying to keep them still, and it might mean reducing your range of movement. Okay, a little bit further and a little bit further as and if you can control it. And we're going to do 1 more on each side. Okay, and then back up into sitting. We're now going to do straight rollbacks, okay? So we're not doing any twisting here. Both hands are out in front. We're just going to lower back a little and then come back up nice and tall. Hands stay out in front. Go back a little bit further and then back up nice and tall. A little bit further still. Nice and tall. Taking it back to find that limit of control where things start to judder a little bit. If you can get all the way back down without any judder and come back, fantastic. Okay, getting down as far as we can. 1 more repetition and then we come back up into full sitting. Nice and tall. Have a little bit of a rest there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is the bucket of water version. Okay, we've done this before. So in this position, we imagine that we've got hold of a bucket of water above our head. Okay, you've got hold of the rim. It's full of water. You don't want to spill any on your head. And then we're going to do exactly the same movement. So just a small version to begin with, working our way back incrementally. Okay, so having the hands above our head now makes life a little bit harder, because in terms of leverage, you've got more weight I suppose, going through your body instead of having your hands out in front of you, which kind of counterbalances you a little bit. So each time we go back a little bit further if we can, push that bucket up to the ceiling when we get to the top, and just see how far back you can start to take that. If you can control it, can we start to get the lower back onto the floor and then bring it right back up above your head? Get in the middle of the back onto the floor and then bringing it back up. Okay, last repetition. Get the shoulder blades back down onto the floor, let your head relax back, let your arms relax down. So the tummy muscles are warmed up now for some harder exercises. Well, they're not hard, you've done them before. We're going to do some oblique work with the oblique prep that we've done before. So that was the version where we've got one hand behind the head. So I'm going to take the left hand behind my head and I'm going to take my right leg into tabletop position. And just so you know, my right arm is just rested on the floor to begin with here. And all I'm going to do is peel my left shoulder blade away from the floor and then gently bring it back. I'm trying to keep this right knee absolutely still. I'm trying to peel the shoulder blade and I'm aiming for my right knee with my shoulder, not my elbow. Breathe it out as you come up. Breathe it in as you come back. Breathe it out as you come up. In as we come back. I've not been counting. We're probably on 6. We're aiming for 10. 7. Fully back. 8. Keep that leg still. 9. Slowly back. Last one. Breathe it out. Okay, good work. We're going to switch sides. Foot goes down, left leg up, right hand behind the head. We're going to bring that right shoulder blade off the floor, slowly back. Try and keep your toes relaxed. 2. Back to the middle. 3. Think about that shoulder coming through to the knee. 4. 5. 6. 7. Breathing out as you come up. 8. 9. One more there. And slowly back. Have a little bit of a rest. Well done, guys. So we are now going to go into double leg tabletop, and we're going to be doing the same exercise, but I'm going to change up what we're doing with the arms just a little bit. So if you don't like the idea of a double leg tabletop for this, just do it with one leg in the air. But we're basically going to be floating the other arm from the floor, which just makes life a little bit harder. So I'm going to go back to having my right, actually double leg tabletop, doesn't matter where we start, we add the imprint, one leg up followed by the other. But I'm going to have my left hand behind my head, right arm down by my side, but this right arm is floating a few inches from the floor. My knees stay still. I'm going from that left shoulder to the right knee. And you'll see that my hand reaches down a little bit to do that. So my right hand is reaching down the mat as I come up. 2. 3. Don't pull on the elbow. 4. Still breathing. 5. Fully back each time you go back. Always starting from scratch. 6. 7. 8. Fully back with the elbow. 9. Last one. Good work. We're going to have a little rest. When the head goes back, 1 foot down at a time. Well done. Give yourself a little bit of a breather for a moment. Okay, now we're going to be doing opposite sides, so we're going to use double leg tabletop again. If you need to, split it into 2 halves. Maybe do 4 reps, have a rest, then come back into the game again, see if you can finish it off. So we're going to go for double leg tabletop, imprint, one leg up followed by the other, left arm down by your side, right hand behind the head, right shoulder through to left knee, but the knees stay still. Peel the right shoulder blade away, reach with the left hand down the mat a little bit, bring the shoulder blade fully back, elbow fully back. Off we go again. 2. And I'm still trying to keep that neutral under spine if I can. I know it will want to flatten. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm going too fast. 8, 9, fully back, last rep. Slowly back, have a rest, one leg down at a time. Okay, good work. Let me have a quick look at what I've got installed next. Okay, right, so with this one, we're going to be doing a little bit more of the same, but we're going to involve a little bit more side bending once we're up into that curled position. So we're going to be using abdo prep. Okay, so I'm going to have both fingers lightly behind my ears. Have a look at this one. Elbows rested back, chin tucked in. I come into my abdo prep, and then I'm just going to turn down to the side a little bit, come back to the middle. Turn down to the side a little bit, come back to the middle. But all of the time I'm trying to keep my shoulder blades as far off the floor as I can get them. What I don't want to feel is like I'm rolling from side to side. It's a side bend, even if it's only a small amount. We're going to try 5 in each direction, but if you need to break it down, have a rest and come back in, that's fine also. We're going to try 2 sets of that one. Okay, so we're going to take hands behind the head. We're going to bring ourselves up into that abdo prep position. You're taking the right shoulder blade around and down the mat a little bit, bring it back to the middle. Keep your neutral, take the left down, and then bring it back. Keep the knees nice and still, elbows nice and wide. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, still breathing, 8, 9, last one, good work, rest back. Okay, so that finds those tummy muscles, doesn't it? Okay, we're going to do one more set of that one. I'm going to add a layer to it though, if you wish. We're going to use double leg tabletop for it, just to make it a little bit more of a challenge out of it, if you feel like you need a bit more of a challenge. So we're going to use our imprint, double leg tabletop. We take the hands behind the head, we come up into the abdo prep, and again we twist, trying not to let the legs wobble around. So you might do less of a twist. Keep the tummy flat. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, well done Renata, 9, last one. Oh, I'm feeling that one. 1 foot down, followed by the other. Have a little rest there. Good work, guys. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of hip twist work now. So we kind of take the emphasis off the tummy muscles a little bit more into the hips. So we're going to put feet and knees together. We'll have a bit of a lazy mobiliser first. Arms out to the side, chin tucked in towards your throat, and we're just going to gently roll knees from side to side. Okay, knees go one way, head and neck goes the other. Slowly bring head, knees back into middle, go in the opposite direction with the knees, and just go nice and slowly, nice and controlled, seeing whether you can just go that little bit further on each repetition. So you feel those tummy muscles, those oblique muscles that we've just been working, they're getting a nice stretch now. Breathe it out at the end of a range. Breathe in as you come back in. Breathe it out at the end of a range. Breathe it back in. Okay, well let's do a few more in each direction, maybe 3 more in each direction. Okay, 1 more rep in each direction there, and we'll just hold it at the end of a range. So wherever you are now, at the end of a range, just hold it there. Have a nice deep breath in, breathe it out, let the knees relax away if it's comfortable to do so. Slowly draw that back into the middle, opposite direction with the knees. Breathe it in,
Breathe it all out at the end of the range. Slowly bring that back in. Okay. Right then, so we have a choice here. We go back a level or we go up a level. If we're going to go back a level, we're keeping both feet on the floor, but one leg comes out to the side. We bring it back in. We take the other side out. We bring it back in. And maybe let's just do a few of these regardless, just so that you get the feel for the movement. Remember, the pelvis stays still. It does not rotate with this one. Breathing out as we take it away, breathing in as we come back in. And for most of you, the challenge is keeping one leg still whilst the other one is going out. Okay, keep that going if you wish. If you want to take it up a level, we're going to go to double leg tabletop. So we bring one leg up, followed by the other. We keep the tummy flat. Fingers on the pelvis. Left leg goes out, knee and foot comes back up. Right leg goes out, knee and foot. Bring that back up. So we're alternating sides, just like when we had our feet on the floor. But this time, rather than the knee going out to the side, the foot comes with it. And you're thinking about the footprint that your back and your pelvis is making on the floor and trying to keep that absolutely static. So there's no rolling. Breathing out as you go out, breathing in as you come in. Breathing out as you go out, in as you come in. We'll do one more in each direction. Last rep, when it's one leg down at a time. Okay, have a little bit of a rest there. Let's just have some real deep breaths for a moment. Put your hands on the side of your rib cage at the bottom, so your fingers are probably a few inches apart from one another on each hand if you like. And I just want you to expand your rib cage as wide as you can as you breathe in. So you feel like that rib's pushing out into your hands as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, you feel that rib cage just collapse down. Breathe it in, really expand. That diaphragm needs exercise as well. It needs to go through a full range of movement. Breathe it in, stretch that diaphragm, and back out. One more of those. Sometimes I think when we do these harder level exercises, we get in the habit of doing shorter, shallower breaths because it's easier that way. Let's make sure we get that diaphragm doing some full movements as often as possible. Last exercise we're going to do before we do a bit of stretching. Hip twist, level 4. Have a quick look at it. We may have done this once before. We're going to the double leg tabletop, but we bring feet and knees together. If it's not easy to put your knees together, put a pillow between your knees. Hands out on the floor nice and wide. I'm going to roll my knees over one way, head goes the other. So my pelvis is rolling, but not very far. Head back to the middle, opposite direction. If we're thinking about a clock face and our start position is 12 o'clock, only begin by taking it to 11, back to 12, over to 1, back to 12. And then incrementally, just take a few more degrees into the movement, so long as you feel you can control it. Do not allow the knees to get closer to your chest through the movement. And this is all about control, not about how far you can go. Control through range is what we're looking for. Well done, guys. See whether you can take it a little bit further if you feel you've got that control. Hitting neutral lumbar spine as you come through the middle. And we're going to do one more in each direction. And when your knees are back into the middle, one foot down followed by the other. Okay, well done. We're going to do a little bit of a stretch just to finish off. We're going to take the left ankle over the right knee. You're going to take hold of that left knee and you're going to pull the left knee towards your right shoulder. So we're giving that left bum cheek a nice stretch. Left knee to right shoulder, but don't allow your lower back to flatten as we do this one, so try and keep that neutral in place. Nice big deep breath. And as you breathe out, just see if you can add a little bit more to the stretch. Now if that's feeling pretty good,
With your right hand, take hold of the left ankle, pull the left ankle up towards the right hip a little bit. Hold that there. Nice big deep breath. Full out breath. Find that neutral under spine again. Okay, good work. Slowly let the knee turn back outwards. Keep the ankle on the knee or on the thigh. We're going to take hold of the right thigh now and pull up, taking the foot away from the floor. If you need to bring your head away from the floor, do so. But if you're flexible enough, keep your head back on the floor. Keep your neutral under spine. Pull that right knee toward the chest, stretching that left hip for you. Keep the chin a little bit tucked in toward your throat. Let's maintain that position. And then slowly lower that right foot back to the floor. Left foot goes back to the floor. Right ankle over left knee. Take hold of the right knee. Pull the right knee toward the left shoulder. If you know what you're doing here, take hold of this right ankle. Pull that up a little bit further as well. But not at the expense of losing your neutral. That little bit of a shapely curve under the back. Keep that there. Nice big deep breath in. And then breathe it out. Stretching is all about breathing and relaxing into the move. The more you push against the stretch, the more your muscles will fight you. Breathing helps you relax, helps you settle into it, and those muscles don't fight as much. Let that knee relax out. We're now going to take hold of that left thigh with both hands, pulling through. Keep the head back on the floor if you can. Keep your neutral under spine as you pull that left thigh and knee toward your chest, and you'll feel that in that right hip. Three nice deep breaths. Okay, lower that foot back to the floor. Opposite foot goes onto the floor. We're going to curl like a ball now, or roll like a ball. Take hold of both knees up to the chest. If you can lock your arms over or link your fingers, whichever you want to, just gently hug on and off, pulling the tailbone away from the floor. So we do lose that neutral under spine here, and we're just pulling those knees in toward the chest, having a nice deep breath each time, breathing it out as you come away. Okay, couple more repetitions, then we're going to have a quick turn over onto our front, and we're going to finish with the Sphinx that we did at the start of the session. So one foot down, followed by the other, have a turn over onto your side and onto your front. You can start this from the forearms if you wish, or if you can go for the high Sphinx, we're going to go through the hands, and we're pushing the pubic bone into the floor as we straighten those elbows out. Lift the chest away from the floor, have a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, let your tummy sag. Nice deep breath in, and then let the tummy sag. Last one. Slowly lower that back down. Okay then guys, now I'm going to be finishing it up at that point there today. So we've worked through some hard work, I think, on those tummy muscles today, but we've built it up to that over the last few weeks, and you look like you've managed really well. So well done for that one. My plan is to have a little bit of a summer break, as you know, and then I'm going to kickstart things again, aiming for the beginning of September, and I will be in touch with you all quite shortly, just to try and get you booked onto that and let you know how that's all going to work. So thanks for sticking with me through this. Thanks for seeing me through the lockdown period. It's needed you guys to help me through that. So thank you for that, and thanks for your loyalty. I hope to see you again soon, but have a great summer, and I'll see you later. Okay, bye-bye everybody.
Thanks, Laura. Mate.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.